Hey, this is Jarod from Get a Load of This, and we're going to change it up this week with a couple new things. This will be our first video for the podcast channel. This will be my first video on YouTube and my first brisket. This week we're going to smoke a brisket on a Weber kettle grill with the snake method. So I went ahead and already picked up 2 briskets, and that was part of the problem actually. So I know I'm behind the curve already. I had to get a 3.3 pound brisket, which is on the small side, and it's actually pretty thin. You can see here it's pretty thin. I wanted to get about a 7 or 8 pound brisket, and they didn't have any that size, so I went ahead and got 2 3.3 pound briskets. They're pretty much the same cut, same size. I'm going to start with this one first, but I know I'm already going to be struggling to keep it tender and juicy, and not dry and not being that thin, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to tear this open, trim it a little. I think it came trimmed from the butcher Schneider's here in town, which is a great meat market, but I'll probably trim a little bit of this fat off. Like I said, they already did a bunch. There's not much of the cap left, but I'll open this up and we'll check it out. Okay, so we have our brisket out of the package here. I'll just give you another look at it. So this, I guess, would be the fat cap, which is only covering about half, 2/3 of it. And like I said, it's been trimmed, but I need to take a little bit more off. You can see this side here is very thin, so I'll probably trim some of that away. And see what we end up with. I'll probably take at least a half a pound off of this, if not a pound. But I've got 2 of them, so that's the plan, is to actually put 2 of these on at the same time. They're going to get a little smaller, so I should have room on the kettle for both of them. So we'll see. I'm going to get to trimming here in just a second. Alright, we got our brisket trimmed up here. Took away most of the silver skin on this side, and kind of didn't have to take too much of the fat cap away, and I probably made it worse than I should have, but not too bad. I think that'll work. I did end up cutting this piece here off the end. I thought about keeping it and making some burn ends, or using it for something, but I don't think I'm gonna really mess with that. There's not enough there. So next I am going to put my rub on this. I'm just going to go Texas style, salt and pepper. I'm actually going to use garlic salt because I prefer it. And then I am going to go with a layer of mustard first. I think it would stick just fine as it is, but I've done mustard before on some other meats that I've smoked, and I liked it, so I think I'm going to try that. So we're going to start with that right here. Try not to use this dirty hand. And just standard Heinz yellow mustard. I'm just going to rub it in, try to get a nice smooth coating. And you shouldn't taste any of this. It'll cook off. It's just there to bind the rub. But if you do taste it, I like yellow mustard, so I wouldn't mind too much if you did. The other side on all that mess of mustard. This. It's a shame, but it happens. So we're going to put on some black pepper and garlic salt. I've already pre-mixed it in this container. And I'm going to get it on the edges first. They say you can be pretty liberal with your rub. I think you can probably overdo it. I don't want to have, I mean, you want to bark, but I don't want to have a big heavy section of salt and pepper, you know, in one spot. So I will be kind of conservative with it. I'm going to do the edges first, just to get it out of the way. Okay, and just cover the rest. Again, I think a classic Texas style brisket is just salt and pepper. I had some garlic salt sitting around. I prefer garlic salt if I'm going to be putting salt on something. But, so I think it'll be alright. Alright, I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Do it. Should give us a nice bark. And actually, I did want to add another little bit of rub that I had left over. This just has some extra peppers in it that we don't have with the black pepper. So this is actually the Code 3 Rescue Rub. I think we talked about this on a previous episode of our podcast. I went out and got some after Ryan mentioned it, and it was really good. And we're almost out, which is why I'm not going to use the whole thing, or cover the whole brisket with it, but I am just going to kind of sprinkle this on in addition to, just to give it a little something extra. Not go crazy with it. And I will do the other side. Code 3 Rescue Rub is pretty good. Alright, so there we go. Black pepper, garlic salt, and a little bit of Code 3 Rescue Rub. So I'm going to seal this up in some foil. I'm going to let these rest in the fridge overnight. I will get them out in the morning. I could have done all this in the morning. You don't have to let it sit in the fridge for hours and hours, from what I understand. Again, this is my first time doing this. But I'm going to get up around 7 and start getting things ready, get the grill together, hopefully start to cook around 8 o'clock. So I got some friends coming over at noon, and we're going to see how these 2 briskets go. I'm only showing the one here. I'll get the other one all prepped up too and put them side by side and see how it goes. So next time you see me, it'll be 7 or 8 in the morning, Saturday. So we'll see how it goes. Later. We are back. Hey guys, it's Jarod from Get a Load of This. It is Saturday morning and we got our briskets out. We're going to let them sit here and just kind of get to room temperature while we get the grill going. I went ahead and did a little different. So the one I did with the mustard coating and salt and pepper and a little bit of the Code 3 rub. The other one I did no mustard, just salt and pepper, no Code 3. So this is kind of your standard Texas style brisket, salt and pepper. And this has the mustard and just a tad bit of Code 3 rub. So I'll probably shake a little bit more on before I put them out there. But I'm going to let them get to room temperature here, and let's go set up the grill. Hey guys, I just want to give you an update on the briskets. They've been on the grill a little less than an hour, but shooting for 225 as my target temperature here, and you can see on the ThermoPro we're right at 222, and it's been hovering around 220. It went as high as 232. I choked it off a little just to bring that back, but 222 right now is just fine with me. And you can see the meat is at 111. We got a little bit of smoke coming out of the vent there. Nice thin smoke, not too thick and white. Let's check out the temperature on the actual grill is reading. I don't know if you can see that. It's just at about 275. So there we go. So it reads hotter on the lid thermometer, which I knew it would, but and one last thing, I'll show you where I have my vent set on the Weber. So I've got these marks on here that you can kind of see, these black lines all the way over to the left where that arrow is closed. The first black line is about a quarter open, the second one is halfway, and the third one right here is all the way open. So I have it just beyond halfway open, if you can see that. So that's where my bottom vent is, and here's some old charcoal that's not being used. And then my top vent is just about halfway open. So anyway, that's an update. We'll see where we are in a couple hours. See ya.